Agnetha Fältskog was born on April 5th, 1950 in the quiet Swedish town of Jönköping, but don't let the small town vibe fool you. Her talent was anything but small. By the age of 6, Agnetha was already writing songs and performing them for her family, leaving them stunned by her natural gift. As a teenager, she joined a local music group, giving her the thrill of performing in front of real crowds for the very first time. In 1967, just 17 years old, Agnetha recorded her debut single, Jag var så kär, which means I was so in love, and it exploded onto the Swedish charts. Her soft yet powerful voice didn't just charm listeners, it turned heads in the music industry. Producers took notice, and it wasn't long before she landed a record deal that launched her into the spotlight. Then came the game changer. Alongside Agnetha Fältskog, Björn Ulvaeus and Benny Andersson, Agnetha co-founded a pop group that would flip the world of music on its head, ABBA. After snatching victory at the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest with Waterloo, the group skyrocketed to global fame. Agnetha wasn't just the face of ABBA's vocals, she was its emotional powerhouse, shaping the sound in the studio and delivering unforgettable performances in hits like The Winner Takes It All, Dancing Queen, and SOS. Behind the scenes, sparks were flying too. Agnetha and ABBA's guitarist Björn Ulvaeus weren't just bandmates, they were in love. The two got married and fans adored their fairy tale romance. But it didn't last. After 7 intense years, the couple's seemingly perfect marriage came to an end in 1979. The divorce set off a media frenzy and tabloids went wild. Reporters didn't waste a second turning Agnetha and Björn's split into front-page drama. To make things even messier, ABBA was at the peak of their global fame, and the tension between the ex-couple quickly started to seep into their work. The real twist? Despite the heartbreak, Agnetha and Björn kept performing side by side on stage. The emotional weight of this situation bled into their music, especially the song The Winner Takes It All. Many believed it was straight from Agnetha's broken heart, though she firmly denied it. Still, her haunting delivery of the track became an anthem for heartbreak, a raw, emotional punch that fans couldn't ignore. Navigating the breakup while staying professional was no small feat, but Agnetha powered through the pain, proving she could still shine under the spotlight even when her personal life was falling apart. But the drama didn't end there. Agnetha's fear of flying stirred up even more headlines and became one of the most talked about quirks in the band's history. One terrifying flight in the late 1970s where the plane was shaken by violent turbulence left her traumatized. From that moment on, Agnetha did everything she could to avoid planes altogether. This phobia turned into a logistical nightmare during ABBA's world tours. On the 1979 US tour, she demanded to travel by train across the country, completely throwing off the group's tight schedule. Managers were frustrated, organizers were stressed, but Agnetha wouldn't budge. Her fear of flying became one of the key reasons she stepped away from the exhausting life of touring. After ABBA eventually parted ways in 1982, Agnetha decided to focus fully on her solo career, and she came back swinging. Her first solo English bang album, Wrap Your Arms Around Me, dropped in 1983 and took Europe by storm. The hit single, The Heat Is On, climbed the charts and became one of her biggest solo successes. She didn't stop there. Agnetha kept experimenting with new musical styles, always staying true to her emotional and lyrical roots. Her ability to evolve while keeping that signature heartfelt touch made her stand out, even as the music industry kept shifting around her. In 2004, she returned with My Coloring Book, a nostalgic love letter to the songs she adored from the 1960s, and fans loved it. But there was more to Agnetha than her music. Her mysterious, modest persona only deepened the fascination fans had with her. Sadly, after ABBA's split, that admiration crossed dangerous lines. Agnetha began to experience obsessive fan behavior that turned downright frightening. One of the most disturbing cases happened in the 1990s. A Dutch fan became completely fixated. He even moved to Sweden just to be closer to her. This wasn't just a fan sending letters. He tried to break into her home on the peaceful island of Eckerö, stalked her movements, and left unsettling notes and flowers. Things escalated when he began following her in public, which left Agnetha terrified and shaken. She had no choice but to involve the police. Eventually, the man was expelled from Sweden, but the case exploded in the media. It exposed the dark side of fame and the real fear celebrities face when their personal space is violated. Interestingly, during the same decade, Agnetha found comfort and connection with Thomas Soderstrom, a respected Swedish surgeon, as they started a quiet romance behind the scenes. Their relationship was anything but calm. It was full of fiery arguments and dramatic tension, which the press eagerly picked up on. After the breakup, things took a nasty turn when Thomas gave several interviews spilling details about Agnetha's personal life. She saw this as a deep betrayal. For someone who fiercely guarded her privacy, this scandal cut deep. The emotional fallout made her even more cautious, and she began pulling further away from public life. This painful chapter exposed just how brutal it can be to maintain any sense of personal space when you're constantly in the spotlight. One thing about Agnetha that always stirred conversation: her love for privacy. Once she stepped back from her full-time music career, she practically vanished from the public eye, and that didn't sit well with everyone. Some journalists and fans criticized her, claiming she had abandoned them or was purposely dodging the press. The decision to live a quiet life on the island of Eckerö only added fuel to the rumor mill. Whispers of her being distant or secretive started swirling in tabloids. But Agnetha made it crystal clear she valued peace over the flashing lights of fame. While she wasn't releasing music as often as before, she never truly stepped away from the craft. Music was in her soul, and her passion quietly burned behind the scenes. Then, in 2013, she shocked the world by dropping A, her first album of original material in 9 whole years. And wow, did it deliver. Critics raved about its emotional depth and modern sound, while longtime fans were overwhelmed with joy to hear that iconic voice once again. Polished, powerful, and full of feeling. The album wasn't just a comeback, it was a bold statement. Agnetha still had it, and she could still move hearts like no one else. But even as her music spoke volumes, her silence at major public events raised eyebrows. Big ABBA reunion talks came and went, and she was nowhere to be seen. Her reluctance to step into the spotlight alongside her former bandmates fueled endless gossip. Was she angry? Was there drama? Everyone wanted answers. But for Agnetha, it was simple. Her peace of mind came first, no matter how loud the speculation got. She had tasted the chaos of global fame and made a conscious decision to shield herself from it. No dramatic falling out, no fiery breakup, just a woman choosing serenity over spectacle. Years later, she finally spoke out, revealing what many had suspected all along. She needed space to focus on her family, her mental well-being, and her happiness. That's it, no secrets, just strength. And while the world was buzzing about ABBA's digital comeback with Voyage, Agnetha stood firm in the background, quiet, watchful, and unbothered by the frenzy. Some claimed she was still haunted by old wounds, scars left behind by the whirlwind of fame, the breakup of her marriage, and whispered tensions between her and her former bandmates. The tabloids had a field day with it, spinning stories of feuds, heartbreak, and bitterness. They painted Agnetha as the mysterious holdout, the one keeping the full ABBA reunion just out of reach. Headlines buzzed with speculation, and the media ran wild trying to decode her silence. But then, in a move that sent shockwaves through the music world, Agnetha said yes. In 2021, she officially rejoined the band to record Voyage, ABBA's first studio album in nearly 40 years. No press leaks, no dramatic announcements, just one quiet, powerful decision that silenced every rumor in a single breath. Fans were floored in the best way possible. Her choice sent one undeniable message: Agnetha Fältskog answers only to herself. No tabloid could push her, no headline could sway her. She re-entered the spotlight not out of obligation or nostalgia, but because she wanted to. And oh, what a comeback it was. Voyage wasn't just an album, it was a cultural event, a once-in-a-generation moment that lit up the hearts of millions across the globe. As soon as her voice soared through those new tracks, it was like time folded in on itself. Agnetha didn't just return, she reignited the magic. That unmistakable, crystal clear voice still carried the same emotion, the same power, the same soul. For longtime fans, it was like being reunited with an old friend. For new listeners, it was a stunning discovery of timeless talent. Simply put, Agnetha reminded the world what true musical brilliance sounds like. But Agnetha is so much more than just a singer from a famous pop group. She's a cultural icon, a symbol of a time when music brought the whole world together. Her influence through both her ABBA days and solo projects remains unmatched. Her music still resonates, and her life story is a powerful reminder of how resilience and true talent can leave a lasting mark on the world.